Hello everyone, I wish all of you, my dear Africans in the continent, in the diaspora, in Europe, in China, wherever you are, to watch this video. And then after watching this video, make sure also you share this video to other Africans in the diaspora, whether in the continent. Make sure that even our leaders are getting this message from this video.
Many years ago, in Berlin, Europeans sat down and subdivided our continent, at times separating a brother from our sister. After they finished doing that and colonizing us, they went ahead and taught us to fear, hate, and keep away from each other. So you are my neighbor, but I fear you, and I don't want to mingle with you. Let me give you an example and use a few African examples. Today, it is easier for a European to travel within Europe without requirement of a visa. They can trade, make money, visit each other, spend money, and the European Union area, and they're making a lot of money, they're becoming rich and rich every day. In Africa, our former colonies and what they taught us still prevails. Then they mingle among each other. Today in Africa, the reality is that for an African to visit a European nation, an ordinary African, to visit a European nation is like, let me give you an example my teacher used to use. It's like trying to milk an elephant because of the visa process. However, for a European to visit an African nation, most of our nations, it is like a walk on the beach. It's like going to have a cup of tea. But then that is not the problem. The tragedy is that now for an African to visit a fellow African within the African Union, the visa restrictions in many of our nations among us, between our brothers and sisters, is like trying to brush the teeth of a crocodile. They came, divided us, and they have taught us to keep each other from each other. Them, they're mingling with each other and making money and growing, but they have taught us to hate each other. But for us to really enjoy the true economic benefits of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, we need to behave like the Europeans and allow for the free movement of people and trade.
Many years ago,
our development agencies, such as the African Union Development Agency and others, cannot really succeed when there are all these restrictions among ourselves.
Honorable, what? This is an African problem, not a Zimbabwean problem. Yes. Where our own liberation heroes have taken reins of the colonial system and they are now managing the same system which they were fighting. So you get into parliament, some of you guys, you go there to transform the system, not to make it more forceful or the very people you are trying to lead. I said something that was offending to many presidents the other day, because all African presidents, all of them, all African countries, all of them are illegitimate. Papa, why do you make such a bold statement? Because I'll give you a theological and a social reflection point of view. Was the Berlin Conference legitimate?
No.
Someone says no. Now, if the Berlin Conference was illegitimate, because it was conducted in our absence, to divide us without our knowledge, if Berlin Conference was illegitimate, then how do we legitimize countries and presidents who are running territories which are founded on the Berlin Conference, which was illegitimate? That's logical thinking. So all African countries are provinces. Our country is Africa.
Yes, that is the reality and that is the truth. We have been made to hate each other. We have been taught to see each other as enemies. And to prove this, my dear lovely family, you remember recently the president of Congo, Mr. Felix Tshisekedi, said he wants to build the wall between DRC and Rwanda to separate DRC and Rwanda. So just imagine a president is thinking about building a wall to separate his country with neighboring country, instead of thinking about building industries that will hire young people, industries that will create jobs and learn businesses. The president is thinking about building the wall to separate fellow Africans. I don't blame the president. I blame the system. We have been taught in such a way. That's why we are talking about to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. We see each other as enemies, and the reality is that we are not enemies. Just imagine a president is thinking about building a wall to separate his country. The same president also is coming in other side talking about Africa Continental Free Trade Area. How can we achieve Africa Continental Free Trade Area while you are keeping people apart? You are dividing the people. You see, if you allow people to come together, to interact, these people will come together, they will share ideas, they will exchange experiences. At the end of the day, they can form a company, they can build industries, and they can produce products. Those products can be sold in one country A and country B. The market can become large, you see. And that's why we are talking about allowing Africans to move from one place to another. There is a lot of opportunities in many African countries, but because of these borders, it is very difficult for Africans to access those opportunities. It is Chinese, it is Europeans who are accessing those opportunities. That's why ask yourself, how many Nigerian companies are operating in Democratic Republic of Congo's minerals? How many Ugandan companies operating in Nigerian oil? How many Malawian companies are working in Burkina Faso? You can find nothing. But you find France companies, you find European companies, you find Nigerian companies, Chinese companies. Ask yourself, how many African companies are constructing roads within the continent? But we find Chinese, we find Europeans, we find the Americans, as if Africans, we know nothing. Why? Because we have been taught to see each other as enemies. We have been taught not to trust ourselves, not to believe in ourselves, and to see each other as enemies. So we don't trust one another, we don't love one another, we hate each other. That's what we have been taught, and that's why I'm saying I don't blame the president for thinking to build war between his country and the neighboring country. Why? Because that is what he was taught. So it needs all of us to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. This generation, we have a great duty, first of all, to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, then to liberate this continent economically. But we cannot liberate this continent economically while we are still have a colonial mind. We need to change the way we think. We need to believe in ourselves. And of course, Captain Ibrahim Traore has demonstrated that Africans can do better. Young people can do better. You see what Captain Ibrahim Traore is doing. Instead of hiring the Chinese, instead of hiring the Europeans or other civilization, what he is doing is to buy equipment. You buy equipment, give the people. I hope, I'm sure, there are some people in Burkina Faso who are trying to assembling, maybe to see how they can create those machines. It is possible because we have everything. What are we lacking in Africa? If it's about iron, we have iron ore. If it's about minerals, we have minerals. Everything we have, those equipment that were made in China can be manufactured here in Africa. All things that China is manufacturing can be manufactured here in the continent of Africa. Because Africans, we are intelligent. The problem that we have been taught not to believe in ourselves, to hate each other. When you find, for instance, let me give you this little example. In our homeland, if the government found you with weeds, I think you know weeds, in your farm, that weeds is yours. So you get consequence because even it was grown itself, but that is yours. But when the same government found minerals in your farm, those minerals is not yours. Those minerals is for the government. But bad things is for yours. But good thing is for the government. You see, that's what we have made. We have been made. And this, what does that mean? That means that because these governments were inherited from colonial governments, so if bad things was found in your area, those things is for yours. But if good things is found in your area, those things is for the government. At that time, for the colonial government. So you see, that's how we have been designed. So I think we need to change. We need to change the way we think. We need to change the way we see things. I think if we can start changing our minds, the way we believe, the way we see things, we can move forward. Dear lovely family, and that's the reality. Africans, we need to achieve, but we cannot achieve while we are still holding this Berlin conference. We are still embracing the Berlin, the ideas of Europeans that we Africans, I'm not African, I'm Nigerian. I'm not African, I'm Zimbabwean. I'm not African, I'm Tanzanian. I'm not African, I'm maybe Rwandese. So let us keep those things apart. Let us say we are Africans. I'm African. Because without Berlin Conference, there's no Rwanda. Without Berlin Conference, there's no Congo. Without Berlin Conference, there's no Uganda. Without Berlin Conference, there's no Burkina Faso. So all these countries were made during Berlin Conference. So these are just the output of Berlin Conference. So we have been made to hate each other, to see each other as enemies, instead of see each other as brothers and sisters. And that's why we are saying that we wish our leaders to see how they can bring the people together. We are in the generation where we need to unite. You see the Europeans, as Mr. Mtua said, in Europe, Europeans are moving without being asked for visas. They are moving free, they do businesses, and they make a lot of money. But in Africa, to move from one country to another, it is very, very difficult. It is very difficult. And that's why you find that it is very difficult to find a Nigerian company, maybe Nigerian building company or construction company building road in Malawi. Have you heard such kind of story? No. Have you heard a Malawian company operating in Nigeria? I don't think there's a Malawian construction company in Nigeria. Why? Because of these borders. But you find Chinese company, European companies, American companies operating in those countries, as if Africans, we don't have capacities. It is not true that we don't have capacity. We have capacities. The problem is these borders, and we have been made to think that Africans, we are enemies. So to hire your fellow Africans, to hire your fellow African company, you see that this is not possible. This is not good. We need white people. We need Chinese. We need something like that. You see, that is how we are made. We are made to hate each other, to see each other as enemies. And that's why you see every now and then there's a lot of fight in Africa. And recently, you heard the story of South Sudan. Right now, South Sudan is under critical condition. People are fighting again there in South Sudan. You see, apart from South Sudan, Sudan itself are there. There's a fight there. You see, there's a fight in South Sudan. There's fight in Sudan. Also, if you go to Democratic Republic of Congo, that is the normal story. Fighting in DRC is the normal story. In Sahel, there's jihadists there. In northern Mozambique. So Africa is under fire. Why? Because of these borders. So our leaders, when they're talking about mediation, bringing peace, silence the guns, let us collapse these borders. Let us find the way to collapse these borders. And of course, we cannot collapse the way maybe we think. We can leave these borders as all these small countries as provinces. If we can do like that, I hope we can move in the right direction. Because I know, as many commentators has been said, many Pan-Africanists has been said, the fear of this powerful nation is Africa to unite, or Africans to unite. That's the big fear. So then they are not ready to see Africans being united. But the day Africans will unite, the day Africans will unite, that is the day Africa will be free. That's the day Africa will start moving forward in the right direction. That's the day Africa will become a powerful country. We lack nothing. We lack nothing. What we lack is commitment. When I'm saying we lack nothing in terms of resources, I mean in terms of resources. But we lack leadership. We lack decisions. You see? We need leaders who can decide for the future. The way the Europeans came together and collapsed their borders, they came together. They divided Africa. Why don't Africans come together? This the way Europeans came together and say they came together to divide us, then we come together to bring all of us together. What's difficult is there? What's difficult is there? So, dear lovely family, please share this video to other Africans. But that is the reality, that we have been made to hate each other. We have been made to see each other as enemies. But remember that we are Africans, and this division will continue to make Africans poor. I'm telling you the truth. Without coming together, without uniting, this Africa Continental Free Trade Area will not succeed. I'm not a prophet. I'm not related to anyone, but I'm telling you the truth. If we are not going to unite, these continental free trade areas will remain on the books, and it will be the Chinese, Europeans who will benefit these continental free trade areas. Africans, we don't have products to sell across the continent. We have been restricted by these borders. So if you want Africans to do businesses, allow them to move free, to move from one place to another. Then they can come together. You know, if you find Nigerians can sit down with Senegalese, can come together with Congolese, they can sit down, they can form a company, then it will be easy. That company can be supplied in Congo, products can be supplied in Congo, in Nigeria, in Senegal. If South Africans can join with Zimbabweans, can join with Mozambicans, they can create a company, they can supply goods around SADC countries. But by continue having these borders, it will be difficult for a Zimbabwean to collaborate with South African, for Mozambicans to collaborate with Malawians, for Tanzanians to collaborate with Rwandese. It will be difficult, you see? So that's why we are saying we need to abolish these borders. Let these countries remain as a province. We need a united Africa. So we cannot compete with China in this situation. I'm telling you the truth. We are going nowhere, and if we are not careful, 10 years to come, 100 years to come, Africa will be colonized again. I'm telling you the truth. This is not luxury words, but we have to speak the truth, that Africans need unity. We need to come together. We need to unite. We need to find a way how we can undo the Berlin Conference. The Berlin Conference is the thing that bring Africans into poverty. We are poor because we are not working together. We don't support each other. It is very easy for Africans to buy from Europeans, to buy from Chinese, but it is very difficult for Africans to buy from fellow Africans. And that is the reality. And that's why I'm saying this Africa Continental Free Trade Area is going to fail, because we have made to hate each other. So no one will buy African product because we hate each other. That's the reality. So, dear lovely family, share with us your opinion on this, but all in all, also share the video to other Africans and also to our leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa.